show this morning. And excuse me, Jeremy,
You're
I
fine.
wasn't politically correct
We got hand
this
sanitizer.
morning, but I will back up just a little bit to make sure
fine.
we're doing it right. Tell you
Yes,
what,
sir.
ever since the president started wearing a mask from here on out, looks like we all are conscious of it.
Yes, sir.
Tell
Yes,
us
sir.
what's going on.
Yes, sir. We're at the Tech Center here in Troy, above Charles Henderson Middle School at Troy Pike Center for Technology. We wanted to come on your show to talk about a grant that we've got through the Construction Industry Craft Training Program. It's in connection with Wiley Construction, KW, and Murphy Bridge to offer welding and construction classes to the public for free.
And, you know, there's some good jobs out there in the welding. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir, there is. The object of this is for people that are either in the trade or wanting to get in the trade to come to these classes. They're going to be 2 nights a week at the Tech Center on Gibbs Street, and original is going to be Tuesday and Thursday night from 5:30 to 8:30. We've had such a high outpouring for welding, we've had to open up a second section, and it's going to be Monday and Wednesday from 5:30 to 8:30.
All right, now they sign up at the school? Or
Yes,
what?
sir. They can call the school at 566-5395, and that'll get them.
395.
Yes, sir. Or they can call my cell phone. It's 334-804-3638.
All right, give that to me one more time.
804-3638.
38, and you've got those numbers out there. We're gonna give them to you one more. If you're interested, or you know somebody that is interested in a welding career, is that right?
Or construction.
Or construction. What type of construction?
Commercial. This grant is provided by the AGC and Craft Training Board. For every building that's built, every thousands of dollars value it's worth, $1 goes into a training fund.
Yeah.
And you can get up to $100,000 to teach construction or welding or both. So we got approved for 2 grants to do construction and welding.
That's great.
Yes, sir. The hope is after this.
Are y'all doing the instruction as well, or just Wiley? We know Mr. Wiley very well.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have somebody from Wiley Construction come out and teach these classes, or how does this work?
Yes, sir. We have we have 2 instructors at the school. These classes, this grant's twofold. I forgot to bring that up, so that's a good point. The kids, the students at the school during the day, Monday through Friday, they get to benefit from this as well, from the materials and equipment that this grant will bring into the school. As far as the instruction, we have on staff our teachers that teach during the day that will be teaching at night, as well as Mr. Wiley has sent us one of his superintendents, Frank Cole, and he's going to be teaching our second welding section that we had to open up on Monday and Wednesdays. He'll be teaching that, as well as helping out with our construction on Tuesday nights as well.
And now you work with the city Board of Education, don't you?
I've worked for county and the city. I'm career tech director for the county and the city.
Yeah, and of course you're exactly right. But in fact, buses from Brundage and Troy come in here every day. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And of course, it's located right above the middle school, and a nice facility. Been there for quite a while, and
Yes, sir.
y'all do a great service. And of course, right now, this people looking for a career. I know people that are making 6 figures that are welders out there. It's a very good trade, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is, and most of the time those 6 figures is on half a year
Yeah.
if they're doing shutdowns or such as that. So,
Of course, and then their
I
job.
had a buddy that was an underwater welder, and he was making about $200,000 a year.
Golly.
Working out there on the oil wells out in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
yes, sir, and I want to, I've had a lot of people call about this. This isn't a self-help type kind of class where it teaches you how to fix stuff around your house or how to build trusses for your barn. Evidently we need that. We've had a lot of calls about that, but this is more so for people that want to get a certification and get out into the trade. The people that fund this, they want to see a return on their investment, and so we'll look at having one of those self-help kind of classes, but for right now this is something that we just want to try to get people into the construction industry.
What did Elijah Gilbreth do?
Yes, sir. He's our welding instructor. He came to us off of a drilling ship out in the...
Off of a drilling ship, uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
And that's on 10 and off 10?
That was 28 on, 28 off.
Oh, boy. Golly.
Yes, sir. So,
hey, Mike, you could have a chance to get married, man, at that time, you know, on 29 and off 29. That's not bad, is it?
What do you do those other 29? You go into New Orleans or something, or you come back home?
I don't know. You come back home. You get in a helicopter and come back home. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you know, and how many times have you heard, you know, you ask somebody what you do, and it says, "Well, I work off shore." Is that
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir. That's right.
But the welding job.
How long would it take you to become a really accomplished welder? I mean,
The hope is this class is set up on the calendar. It was supposed to start September 1, but we got pushed back on funding. The calendar is set up on this thing to run to June, 2 nights a week. Hopefully we'll be able to speed some of that up with some of these classes. They'll get a NCCER certification for start off with safety. They'll get that certification in safety, and then from there we'll get into the trades part with the construction framing and with the welding. The hope is on the welding side to finish with an AWS, American Welding Society certification, that they'll get one of those. Some of the companies around here require a 3G test. So we've got a bender set up to be purchased, and also we can test them there or have them sent off to be tested.
Well, somebody like Elijah on your staff, you have a good base for people, opportunities for people to work offshore, where there's huge money to be made, and not a bad living on 29 and off 29.
As long as your wife can put up with it, yes, sir. It'll.
He said, now you know what? When he walks out the door, he said, "Gosh, man, I'm gonna be away from this for 29 days."
Yes.
What are some basic construction knowledge you need to have as far as training? I mean, like to go out and work on a project, whether construction would be doing in Troy, like at Troy University. You know, they did the arena, they've done the football stadium, and everything else. What's
yes,
some
sir.
like just basic things you need to know before you go work on a construction site?
Well, the main thing they're telling us right now is, you know, besides being able to read a tape measure, that's one thing everybody's got a problem with. They
What
see
is that?
reading a tape measure.
Oh,
a lot of people,
okay,
you know, you can't read a tape anymore. But aside from that, rough framing and concrete work seem to be the main things that they're needing right now. And Mr. Wiley's actually given his people that are already employed that come through this class an incentive, a pay bump for to come through it. So they've really sold out and helping us out with that.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
No question about it. Of course, what does Jeremy do? What does he do?
Me or the?
Yeah, him.
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew. Wait a minute, it's Andrew.
Yes, sir.
You're
yes,
Jeremy.
sir.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Andrew is our construction teacher. He's ag construction is what we have it under. He got out of Auburn last December. Is that right?
Man, that's great. Got a job right out of school. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Does he work with you, part of this program here?
Yes, sir. He does. He teaches construction to the kids during the day, and then at night he'll be doing this with Mr. Cole as well.
What are some things y'all offer right now at the facility?
During the day, we offer nursing, health occupations. We offer database, education, and training.
And they get a certificate. The nurses get a certificate.
Yes, sir.
Right?
At the end, they can take what's called a LPCT, a licensed practical care nurse. It's
a lot of good jobs out there, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It is.
Go ahead.
We've got welding. We've got aviation maintenance through Enterprise State, and we've got manufacturing, MSSC as well.
Well, that is fantastic. It's a good program located right here in Troy, and again, that telephone number to get an appointment or come and register for these classes, 566-5395. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Or call 804-3638. And this is a great opportunity. Now, if you know people that are looking for work, are looking to be trained in a skill, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Trained in a skill.
Yes, sir. This isn't a 4-year or 2-year degree.
Yeah.
This is, you know, I would say quick, but it's looking like, you know, about 5 months of training 2 nights a week to get you what you need to get onto a job site. So, you know, you'll get a sheet of paper out of it that says, hey, look, I know what I'm talking about, and should get you to the hiring table a lot quicker.
You take somebody like Elijah with all the experience that he has working offshore. He could. Are there a lot of jobs available offshore now?
there's welding right now is very big offshore and on land. I mean, worldwide, really. I've worked around the world, and there's
Are you a welder?
Yes, sir. I've been welding for, I started 37 years ago.
Whoa.
Yes,
You've
sir.
been all around the world from jobs?
I've worked local and I've worked international as well.
Yeah, that's good. What would say? Let's say.
Is he underwater? Is he a certified scuba diver?
No.
No, sir.
No, Mike, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't be either.
He
Tough
was-
enough as it is.
He was everything above the deck on the drill ships.
And boy, they say the best seafood in the world is made off deck, offshore. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, y'all catch those groupers every day and have them filleted, and everybody eats fish every day.
It's been time we've had fresh fish.
But a lot of people do fish off those decks, don't they?
Yes, sir, they do.
Or fish, or a lot of fishermen that throw in toward your rig. Is that right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You see them and you wish you was on their boat. To
Let me ask you this.
I got more questions about that. Like, what are the conditions like as far as living situations? I mean, do people ever get out there and just go crazy? You know,
Go crazy.
No, sir. It's actually it's almost like a small town. We'll have the drill ship I was on. We'd have 180 to 200 people average on the rig, and you're just a family. You're a family out there. You just take care of each other. You work 24 hours a day, so if you're not resting, you're working. So you stay busy. Your mind's always busy.
Yeah, Mike, of course, and
they need to do a reality TV show out on the old rig. That'd be must-see TV to watch.
It would be interesting for sure.
I bet it would too. Of course, also, Elijah, let's just say somebody takes this test and is, or takes this course and then takes the test. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Once they get certified or have that test, take that test, then they, what would you say a person could start off at working offshore?
Well, this test we would be given here, it would be structural. If they wanted to further their education, they would need to get in the pipe, and if we're able to continue this on next year, hopefully be able to start teaching some pipe welding as well.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to weld pipe and structural work offshore.
And they some good. Once you learn that skill, it's a good career. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The only time you're not working if you're a welder is when you want to take a day off.
Yeah. And you talk about pipes because the pipe industry's got to be enhanced tremendously by us buying oil from ourselves. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On land and offshore, pipe welding is in high demand.
And a lot of it is pumping oil. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A very large part of it is there's a lot in the industry as well as far as your paper mills, your different type production mills. You have a lot of piping as well that moves chemicals and air, steam.
Well, I tell you what, it's great to have this type of facility.
Yes, sir.
You look real familiar to me. Who are you from? Troy originally, or where?
No, sir. I'm from Andalusia originally.
Andalusia. You go to Andalusia High School or Strawn?
Strawn.
Red level.
Strawn.
See, I got to get that Strawn out of it. Strawn's a great school. A lot of folks want to go to Strawn. You played right tackle or left tackle?
I didn't really play any. I did until I broke the back, and then that kind of put an end on that.
Did you do that on the job or what?
Football. So,
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's all good. That's all good.
Of course, the coach.
How good is Mike's Steakhouse in Andalusia? People tell me it's really good.
Yes, sir. Big Mike's is good. Last time I went, it was closed on Monday, so don't go tonight. But it's good. I like it fairly
And
well.
all you can eat catfish place still there too?
David's Catfish.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
If
sir.
it's there, you can get catfish all you can eat.
Some nights of the week, yes, sir. Some nights of the week.
It sounds good to me.
And they have Christmas City. Andalusia's dad's favorite place. He wants to move down.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
they got a good friend of mine, the mayor of Andalusia, Earl
What's the cable
Johnson.
company in Andalusia? Do they got a locally owned cable company?
Andalusia Cable.
Do they do?
Yes, sir. Andalusia Cable.
Well, I tell you what, it's been fun this morning, and of course, again, if you're interested or you know somebody is interested, this telephone number again, write it down: 566-5395 or 803638. Could they come by your place?
Come on
if
by.
You got somebody there at the office?
Yes.
More importantly, what's the age requirement? How old do you have to be?
Yeah, 18 is the age requirement. The reason for that is for these job sites is, you know, I've got a letter typed up we're sending out to people today. You know, there's Wiley, KW, and Murphy Bridge. We're hoping some more we can get to come along in here with this. They're going to be coming in and out throughout this training and looking at people and, you know, looking to hire people right out of the class. We had them up in the classroom the other day, and they offered one of our students a job whenever they graduate high school.
Wonderful.
So, you know, but 18-year, what I've been telling people.
What is Murphy Bridge? I don't know that.
You know, that's Tom Murphy, Mike. They build bridge business all for years and years. The Murphy Bridge Company right here in Troy.
Yeah, 231 North up there.
Tom Murphy has a company called Murphy Bridge. I've never.
Oh yeah, for years he did, and now his nephew is working it. It runs it, and Sambo, and that's been a big company for a long time. Very reputable.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you know, when you go play golf down in down in Panama City, that bridge that you get to the golf course, they built that.
There's a fancy
Halfway
bridge.
Bridge?
No, Mike, the golf course out there near us.
Oh, you come on Wild Herring.
Yeah, Wild Herring. Wild Herring, that bridge there, Murphy Bridge, built that a long time ago.
Yeah, but you were asking about the.
You're coming on over Phillips Inlet.
Yep.
Yes, sir. You were asking about the requirements for this class. Requirements to be 18 years old and you know, want to better yourself. That's
right.
The only requirements we're requiring.
Great. You got opportunity with people to teach you a trade that you'll be happy with for a long time.
What are the hours up there every day at the school?
Well, for the students or the teachers, we're 7:30 to 3:30. But for the night class, it's going to be from 5:30 to 8. This week, we're going to run Tuesday and Thursday like we originally advertised. And once people get in there Tuesday night, we'll break them out into Monday, Wednesday welding groups. And starting next week, we'll be running Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30 for these classes.
And Elijah's going to be wearing a hood and wearing a helmet and starting that teaching a trade. Well, that's great.
Yes, sir.
That's wonderful. We appreciate you coming in.
Do you have to wear a mask over your welding mask? Your regular virus mask? How does that work?
So you're talking about night classes for students or just in general?
Wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Y'all have to wear a mask.
Wearing a mask. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you're wearing a welding mask, but you also have to wear a mask under that as well?
Well, if you're under the hood, no, we're not going to require you to wear one under your hood. I mean, that could be you could get a safety hazard with that, with sparks and such flying up, especially if you start working on overhead stuff. But as far as in the classroom and everything, we're going to wear masks and stuff in there and socially distance.
Yeah. We got a call coming in. Let's see what this is. We're going to put you on hold here, Mike, real quick. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. Will Matthews.
Hey, Will, just hold on. We'll be bringing you in a moment. We've got guests on our show this morning. Will Matthews, our attorney from Ozark, is on the line, and I'm sure he's got a lot to talk about today. Since our president has found out he is under the watch right now, and of course you know a lot about that. We'll be talking about that in just a few moments right here on our show. Again, we appreciate you being on our show, and
Thanks,
again, I hope I hope that this works out real good for you, and we'd love for y'all to come on and talk to us more about it.
Yes, sir. We'll give y'all an update.
Appreciate it. A great opportunity for a career in welding and other construction programs right here in Troy, Alabama. And again, call them today, 566-5395. We'll be back to more of Today in L.A. right after this.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
By its very nature, doing big things takes resilience and strength. You did the hard part. You did it, and will go farther still. Max is proud to be your champion, removing obstacles that get in your way. We make technology easy, saving and funds access uncomplicated, and provide help when and how you want it. You control your money with expert guidance from Max Credit Union. Smart money made simple.
Okay.
What's his wife do?
Now I know the rest of the story.
His wife was Elizabeth Stabler.
The Stabler, they own that hospital in Greenville. Now I know why he lives in Greenville, yeah.
That's right. He lives in Greenville.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to Will Matthews, and appreciate that was good information this morning, and we appreciate the folks with the
It's called Votech, isn't it?
yeah, Votech right here in Troy, and of course great opportunities for some real good jobs. I mean, somebody said when I said to him, I said, well, that's some good six-figure jobs that y'all are providing here, or training here for those jobs. And he said, how about $200,000 jobs?
Welding is a fantastic vocation, and as he says, if you can weld, you are going to always have a job, and a high-paying job. So if I was 30 years younger, I might go back and take this course.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I was in online sales in Birmingham, and I was the top guy. I sold everybody, and I worked for a company called YP, which is Yellow Pages Online. And I would call people all over the country, cold calling. Sometimes I'd have leads, sometimes I would not. But one of my top guys to call was welders. Because these guys made $300 to $400 an hour, some of them did. And, as far as advertising, booking up jobs in advance and stuff like that, I mean, those are the easiest guys really to sell.
Yeah.
okay, Mike. Hey, the Crimson Tide of Alabama, Will Matthews. Will Matthews got his law degree from the University of Alabama. Alabama looked very, very good this past weekend, but they got to turn around and do it all over again this weekend, Mike. Who they got? Ole Miss. They traveled to Oxford to play a bunch of yuppies. They shouldn't have any problem with them, should they?
Well, they gave up 400 yards on the ground to Kentucky and still won the game.
And yes, Will Matthews' daughter went to Ole Miss, and now you know the rest of the story. Is that right, Will?
Well, she played in the $1 Million Band for 4 years. Then she went to law school at Ole Miss for 3 years. And I used to go over to Ole Miss a couple of times a year to a ball game, usually when they played Auburn or Alabama. And it's really a good place to go see a game, but now I guess nobody's going to see a game.
I noticed that last ball game they showed a little bit of the famous
Grove,
and and they didn't have as many as normal, but they were. I think they had 20%. What were they? They had about 20,000 people at the game.
I have no idea. Not Ole Miss. Ole Miss Stadium only holds 65,000, so if they can only do 20%. I mean, that's probably maybe, 14,000 maybe there?
Yeah.
Well, this weekend,
all I know is this. Georgia against Auburn, Georgia and Athens, that crowd was so loud to be 20,000 people. There's no way there was like 20,000. They had to be 25 or 30,000.
a lot of it was piped in, though, wasn't it?
I don't know, man. It was loud.
Michael, they showed the stands. And the student section, they were just crammed up next to each other. So,
Yeah, what
Did you see the upper decks in Tuscaloosa? There were people there'd be one person sitting on the row of bleachers. I mean, you tell me you couldn't have gotten 7,000 more people in that stadium and still been just as safe? I don't get it.
Everybody was complaining. They said the game day experience was just not even close to being the same. They said that they've got to at least get it to 50% by the time they play Auburn.
Well, Troy plays this weekend against Texas State, and Texas State's got a very good football team. And if you own a season ticket, I think this is great thinking on Troy's part. I think a season ticket costs $100 per season ticket, which is a steal, a bargain.
I thought it was $60 you can get.
Well, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe you can't get general admission. Yeah, general admission for $60 a season ticket. Man, you've got an investment, I promise you. And you get in every Troy home game. That's 6 home games for that price. And I'm thinking they're going to land at I'm talking about, let's see, elbow or arm's length. They'll let everybody, all season ticket owners, get in with just with their season ticket for that game. You get 6 season tickets per package, and you use them per game.
$10 a ticket. God, that is you can't beat that anywhere.
No,
I mean,
can't.
That's lower than the playing golf at Brunage Country Club, which is $12.
Right.
How are they going to do that up in the box, though, Dad, at the Stadium Club? How are you going to social distance people? I mean,
well, I don't know exactly how they're going to.
Have people policing where you can sit up there, or
Probably.
how you go to your locker and get your refill, or how's that work?
Don't you think they'll do it like restaurants where they'll just block off certain tables and chairs and say you can't sit here?
I will tell you this, there'll be an X or something on the floor where you must be standing. The thing I can't get over is this, and I'm fixing to show you what I can't get over. And of course, I carry my, I say I carry my mask everywhere. What's this? Now I've left it. I left it somewhere. But
Mine's in my car.
Well, I take mine quite regularly, but what I'm saying is, how in the world can you eat and wear a mask? It says you can wear a mask. You're supposed to wear a mask unless you are eating or drinking. How do you do that? Just drop your mask and eat, and then
Well,
put
it's like
it back
restaurants.
on.
You go in there, you put your mask on, then you promptly take your mask off,
Exactly.
eat and drink, then you put your mask back on.
I want to talk about pond stockers this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a very unique sponsor called Pond Stalker, and go out and talk with Jim Mullis this morning out at the Pike County Lake, and he can tell you how you can stock your pond. Also, if you've got a beautiful little pond in your yard, he'll also show you how you can put a fountain in there, make it beautiful, and make it so enjoyable.
He does a lot of things for ponds, doesn't he? I mean, if you need management of your pond, he can do it.
All right, Will.
Do y'all want to recap the weekend?
All right, I got Will too. Will, you add to everything else he needs to talk about.
All right, America's team won on Friday night. BYU beat Louisiana Tech.
Wait a minute, you're calling BYU America's team? Is that right?
So they blow out another opponent. Listen to this. Zach Wilson, the quarterback, was 24 of 26 for 325 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
He is something else.
Hard to do better than that.
And you know, he doesn't look like he's 18 years old. You know, he looks young.
He looks
Mike
good.
Amos called this game to be under the number. Clemson 41-23. Virginia played pretty tough.
I know Virginia's building pretty good
Hey,
program.
what did Mike Amos almost have the pick of the whole history?
We are Jack State.
I looked at the score. First score I saw Jack State 14-0. And I said, "Oh my gosh, Mike is called the upset of the century." I'm
meeting with their athletic director in Sylacauga today, half a distance, and I'm gonna change over to a Jack State fan. We are Jack State this morning for about next 15 or 20 minutes. Then I go back to being a Troy guy all the way.
What are you doing meeting Jack State's athletic director in Sylacauga?
To change over.
Oh.
Like I change over Alabama to Auburn, I got to meet
that was a joke. I get it.
I got to eat, what's the guy's name? Malzahn? I got to meet him at the Waffle House and change over. Oh boy, we're having fun on the show this morning.
Alabama beat Texas A&M 52-24. Mike Amos told me yesterday he doesn't think Alabama has a running game. And I said, why would you run when you can throw it for 435 yards?
I know, but it's supposed to be the other way around, Mike. Why do you pass when you
make
run?
a good point. I mean, those touchdown passes, some of those passes were pretty good, but about 4 of them, those receivers, there wasn't anybody within 4 yards of them. That's the most poor secondary I've ever seen.
There's 2 teams out there I don't...
Is it crazy to say that Mac Jones might throw a deep ball as well as Tua?
He does, so far.
He throws it well, and he throws it play action, most of it. I thought he handled himself extremely well, no question about it. But right now, there's 2 teams out there. I don't know if Alabama needs to be playing. One of them is Tennessee, and the other one's Florida. What do you think?
Well, they don't play Florida until the SEC championship. They will have to play Tennessee. Tennessee destroyed Missouri 35-12.
Yeah, Tennessee looks awfully good, no question about it.
Tennessee's coming to
Georgia. They're going to Athens.
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
All right, here's a look at some of those games. Go ahead and give us a...
All right, Florida won 38-24. Will Muschamp's got to be getting fired this year, you would think. Georgia won 27-6 with a walk-on quarterback. Will Matthews, did you ever think a walk-on quarterback named Stetson Bennett would beat Auburn 27-6?
Michael's one thing. Georgia does not have a quarterback and still beat Auburn handily. If they had the guy that Fields, if they had still had him, there's no telling how bad they would have beat Auburn Saturday.
Of course, Auburn turns around and has to go play a home game against Arkansas, and Arkansas's improved. Not that I think Arkansas will beat them. Tom Herman, the Texas coach, is probably going to get fired as well. They've underachieved greatly. They got beat by TCU 33-31 at home. Texas apparently fumbled on the 1-yard line, I think, with 2 minutes left.
And they had come they came from way back, too.
And then Tulsa, upset of the day. Nobody's even talked about that. I went to Tulsa Stadium. My wife, one of her best friends, lives in Tulsa, and I went to that campus, beautiful campus. They go on the road and beat UCF 34-26.
Wow.
I know, that was big. They got a real good quarterback in Tulsa.
Nobody saw that coming. They were a 20-point favorite going into that game.
Yeah, UCF, everybody thought they might go undefeated. There you go.
And beats Boston College 26-22. Cincinnati beats South Florida 28-7. Arkansas, with the upset of the day, they had a 20-game losing streak snapped. And the SEC, Sam Pittman's their new coach. They won 21-14. Felipe Franks, the former Florida starting quarterback, is not a bad option for Arkansas to have as a starter.
I imagine a lot of folks like to have Felipe Franks.
Not me.
Oklahoma State won 47-7 over Kansas. Kansas is horrible. Oklahoma had another lead that they squandered and got beat by Iowa State 37-30. LSU bounced back and beat Vandy 41-7. Tennessee looked very impressive with their offensive line and their defense, beat Missouri 35-12. Another upset. Pittsburgh, who was ranked, got 30-29 by NC State, and then the game that I thought would be the game of the day was the game of the day. SMU was up 24-3 against Memphis. Memphis comes all the way back and ties it up, has the ball driving, fumbles with about 3 minutes left, gives SMU a short field, and they kick a 45-yard field goal to win the game.
Boy, that's something. That was a heck of a game. Those 2 teams can play right there now.
Did you say did Richard McBride make a lot of tackles?
Hey, guys, let me tell you a side note about the SMU-Memphis game.
All right.
SMU dominated the game the first half. Well, evidently, a bunch of the students snuck in the game, and they were way more than they were supposed to have, and the police escorted every single student out of the stadium.
Oh, boy.
But that's a true story. I read that book. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the upset of the day, and I picked it, and I loved it, was Neil Brown beating Baylor in overtime.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say, I don't know if you watched that game. Baylor had a sure touchdown with about 5 minutes left, and they took it away. And then they got the ball back and they scored and tied it up to go into overtime. But that was one of the worst officiating replay calls I'd ever seen. The Baylor guy is on the lineman in the end zone. There's no doubt he scored a touchdown. And they gave the ball to West Virginia there. That was a horrible call if you're a Baylor fan.
Well, think about poor Kentucky. They missed the extra point, so in the first overtime, so that allows Ole Miss to win. It reminds me of remember when Alabama missed the extra point against Michigan in the Orange Bowl?
With Brady, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But then the play that really gets you is they got a running back that's breaking free into a touchdown. He starts celebrating at about the 15-yard line. So he slows down and they tackle him at the 2, and then Kentucky promptly fumbles and Ole Miss gets the ball and they don't score anything. So that's the ball game right there.
Oh boy.
Bill, that's why it's important when you go to overtime to win the coin toss. If you win the coin toss, you get to go on defense and you know exactly what you have to do that first possession.
Yep.
And that's exactly Ole Miss knew. You know, if they score a touchdown, they'll win the game. And if Kentucky scores a touchdown, kicks the extra point, the pressure is on then.
Kentucky rushed for over 400 yards and lose the ball game. How many times do you see that?
And lost.
Nothing.
That's right.
Need to mention local product Rich McBride, Charles Henderson legend, in his 6th year of eligibility at SMU, had 8 tackles and 2 tackles for loss.
Bless his heart. I could cry. That young man had been through so much, and boy, he just character. I mean, that young man's been something.
He might get a chance in the NFL.
Oh, he is going to. I tell you.
He's going to be about 25 when he goes.
And Forrest Lee watched him play high school ball. I did. Forrest is sitting right in front of me. Forrest, do you have is that chocolate candy you've got right there? Forrest has got a whole box of chocolates. Is that right?
If we'd have featured him as a running back late in the year,
that's what I'm saying.
Playoffs,
he was when they moved him to tailback. Mike, I don't know if you remember this at Charles Hudson. You know what Alan Jones and I would say? They can't tackle him. Hey, they can't tackle that guy. That guy cannot be tackled. He's still going. He's still going. They can't bring him down. He is still going.
I heard Andrew Bone was on Paul Feinbaum's show talking about a book he has about recruiting Alabama players and their recruiting stories. And he interviewed 20 players that went to Alabama, and they tell why they went to Alabama. And one player he interviewed was Cornelius Bennett, and like several of these players, they almost went to Auburn. It was really close. But Cornelius Bennett said that Pat Dye recruited Cornelius Bennett and wanted him to be a running back. He wanted him to split time with Bo Jackson. So how about that? That would have been. I bet it'd be kind of hard to tackle Cornelius Bennett too.
And of course, they started calling him. His nickname was Biscuit. You remember that? And boy, what a great player he was.
You know, Cornelius Bennett's son's the starting defense man at Tennessee.
Did he really?
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Well,
I was going to mention this, Will. This is interesting news. This is how you don't know anything about COVID when it comes to Vegas. So Virginia Tech is playing at Duke. They're 12.5-point favorites. Before the game is kicked, it turns out that 22 players did not make the trip, including 2 full-time coaches, including the defensive coordinator. So they still beat Duke at Duke 38-31. But isn't that crazy to not know that information until kick?
Boy, that is. And they still won the ball game. That's a great thing about it. That must be a heck of a...
Michael, the line in that game went down to 8 points.
It was 13 at one time. It was the highest 13.
It was 8 at game time, so they knew at game time who was playing and who wasn't.
Yeah.
Of course, yours truly was Virginia Tech. And I've got
I thought that was the lock.
Well, they're up by 10 with 9 seconds to go, and Duke kicks the field goal with 9 seconds to go to beat the spread.
Oh.
They didn't win the game. They just beat the spread. Is that right?
They beat the
Well, some of us had Duke at 12.5, so that was an easy
Of
cover.
course, if you would have looked at it last night, the big tight end, they were bragging about him all game long. He's the greatest tight end of all time. And he dropped a pass right in his hands, or they would have gone into overtime and had an opportunity to win. But that's what happens in the pros.
I didn't understand the 49ers thinking there. You got 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning.
That's right.
They're going for the onside kick there. Why did they just not kick off?
That's right. The people in the TV box said the same thing. Mike.
I mean, you gave him the ball to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got an attention, please. Hey, forget about what happened last night or yesterday or Saturday. Forget about what happened Saturday. The Auburn Tigers are ready to go. You know why? They host the Arkansas Razorbacks this Saturday afternoon in Auburn, Alabama. It's Auburn against Arkansas in a big SEC clash. That game, Mike, is what time? 3 p.m. kickoff. And ladies and gentlemen,
that's the same time as the
they're
Troy
going
game.
straight up against Troy. Troy's kickoff, and everybody write this down or put it on your refrigerator. Troy's game time now, and I love it. It's been changed from 11 o'clock kickoff to a 2:30 kickoff. Saying that's the same time that we have homecoming every year. 2:30 kickoff against Texas State. Should be a good football game.
You can find somewhere to tailgate on campus. It'd be beautiful weather. Perfect time to play football, yeah.
And if you can...
I mean, it was better when it was 11 o'clock, because now you spill over into the Auburn game at 3, and then you spill over to the Alabama game at 5. So, I mean, you're going to have a lot of people not coming to games because they're going to be watching Auburn and Alabama.
What time is the Alabama game playing at Ole Miss?
About 5 o'clock.
I have never heard of a 5 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, they're rare.
I am interested in this going forward. Will, you can chime in. Bill, Dad. So Auburn right now is 1-1. Here's the rest of their schedule. Let's pick what Auburn will finish. They're hosting Arkansas.
I would say it's a toss-up. It's going to be a toss-up, I would think.
No, they'll win easy against Arkansas at home.
Okay, all right. Well, Arkansas must be pretty
good. It doesn't seem as easy as it did last week, did it?
Let me tell you this. And Farley who's sitting right in front of me, with those big old racehorse legs, will tell you, if you can run the football, you got a chance to beat anybody. You know why? Because you kill the clock if you can run the football and you keep it away from these good offenses.
Can Arkansas run the ball?
Evidently they can.
They threw the ball.
Auburn will beat them handily.
All right.
All right, who's after that? Who's after Arkansas?
After that?
All right, then you're at South Carolina. Muschamp might be fired before them. Who knows?
Auburn will win that one.
At South Carolina, what do you think of that?
Auburn will win, but I mean, it's no guarantee.
I tell you what, South Carolina's pretty good. Toss up.
Auburn will be favored by less than a touchdown, so that's a toss-up game.
And then you got to go play Joey Freshwater, the great Ole Miss coach, Lane Kiffin, at Ole Miss after that. What do you think?
Another toss-up game.
I can see it losing to Ole Miss way more than I can see it losing to South Carolina.
They will lose to Ole Miss. Ole Miss will beat them.
Okay, all right.
Then on Halloween weekend, they're hosting LSU in Auburn.
Looks like LSU's got the confidence back. You'd have to go with LSU.
Really? I think Auburn might be favored.
I know, but who do you think will win the game?
I'm kind of leaning towards Auburn. I still don't think LSU's that
You know, I made the point last week that if Auburn could get by Georgia, they would cruise. And they should be favored against everybody going into the Iron Bowl, which they would have been. But they didn't beat Georgia. Not only did they not beat Georgia, they got handled pretty easily. So all of these games look a lot different today than they did last week.
And then at Mississippi State after that.
All right, Mississippi State. Let me ask this: what happened to this big yuppie from Stanford this past weekend? You know, he threw for 600 yards the week before, and he gets beat this week.
You know what I think happened? I think they just played a basic zone defense on them, and it worked.
Let them throw it underneath, didn't they?
Yeah, they didn't try to cover man-to-man all these crossing routes all the way across the field, and it worked.
Yeah, he also threw 3 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown.
Yeah. What happened? How many yards did he throw for? He threw for 600 yards the week before.
He threw for 300. After that, Mississippi State. So y'all think Mississippi State will beat Auburn, or do you think Auburn will beat Mississippi State?
Where's that game played?
Starkville.
I think Auburn will beat them. If Auburn can get a running game, they got 1 running back. That's pretty good.
And then they have Tennessee coming to Auburn. I can definitely see Tennessee beat Auburn at Auburn.
Well, right now, I'd say Tennessee's the favorite against Auburn.
Yeah, they're pretty good, evidently.
Tennessee has won 8 in a row. We'll find out all we need to know about Tennessee in Athens this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I think Georgia will beat Tennessee pretty good.
And then at Alabama, not to finish the season. That's what's so strange. The Iron Bowl will not finish the season. You gotta lean towards Alabama at home.
Yeah, I would think so.
Then Auburn will host to finish the season Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher, who looks like they're going to be very average again. You think A&M can win at Auburn?
Oh yeah.
I see a lot of games on Auburn's schedule that are touchdown or less games. I mean, Auburn could win all of them, but they could lose several of them too.
You know,
I think they'll lose at least 2 more, possibly 3.
What I tell y'all, this young man is just a good college quarterback. He's not a prolific college quarterback.
Oh, Nick?
Yeah.
You know, he
looked good against Alabama last year.
Yeah, and he looked good at times against Kentucky, but you're right. Sometimes he looks bad.
I tell you what,
his fundamental. He throws off his back foot all the time. He's like Jalen Hurts. He wants to roll out to the right towards the sidelines instead of stepping into the pocket. He's like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you can do with him.
But you got to look at Malzahn's track record here, guys. I mean, Malzahn has lost over 4 games 5 straight years.
Yeah.
What else is new?
I tell you what surprises me, and everybody thinks that this running back they got right now is pretty good. But and I said this the other day, they don't have anybody else to play at quarterback. And then the other thing, they don't have one running back that's really proven. I mean, how did they get in such a fix? How did they get into such a fix? They should have a bevy of running backs.
They're missing Booby. Whitlow transferred out, and then their backup quarterback was the starter at Bowling Green.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is I was reading an article. Kirby Smart's now 5-1 against Malzahn.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's excited about that. Looking at some games this week, Mike, tell us a little bit about that. Mississippi State's at Kentucky. Who do y'all like there early?
Oh, that's a fun game to watch on TV. It'll be a lot of offense.
Lee's coached at Kentucky back under Mummy days.
I'm gonna take Kentucky. They 2 games that they kind of gave away. They're due.
The big game this week is Clemson and Miami. Do you think Miami can beat Clemson?
No, I think they'll give a game, though.
That's going to be one of the bigger games this week. Normally, you would think that Texas and Oklahoma would be a big game, but...
is that this week?
Yeah, that's this week. And, both of them have been a disappointment. I'm going to tell you what, Oklahoma has not impressed me at all.
Well, here's what's happened. The Big 12, you can take
Big 12 is gone.
You can take them out of the playoff debate. The ACC, you've got Florida. I mean, you've got Miami, Clemson, and Notre Dame. That's 3 teams you can talk about. The SEC, you got about 5 teams you can talk about. We don't know anything about the Big 10 yet.
Yeah. So I tell you something, and of course,
got a really good game in the Sun Belt. Louisiana Lafayette will travel to App State on Thursday night, so that'll be fun to watch.
That'll be a good one. You're right, no question about it. Georgia Southern found another way to how to win. I don't know what they've got to such a charm, but they seem to win games when they're way behind. Of course, Troy, as we mentioned, is a 2:30 kickoff against Texas State. and this is going to be a great opportunity. Troy's had 2 weeks, and I think they needed these 2 weeks. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Troy now with 6 home games left and 11 more games to choose from. We have not seen where Troy has rescheduled that game, though. Have you seen anything on that?
No, I mean, the only option would be December the 12th, it looks like.
Exactly right. They moved everything back to the 19th.
I mean, you think there's any chance that Troy will take the field with a new quarterback against Texas State?
Well, I don't know. I've told you that this young freshman is the one that looks more likely to overturn this quarterback.
Well, man, that's what I'm trying to figure out. You've had 2 weeks to maybe change a quarterback. You think they do it? I
don't know. I hope so. I hope whoever does get the job has some legs where they can run and make some plays, you know. I tell you what, I was watching that pro game last night, and everybody talks about this quarterback at the Eagles that played at North Dakota State. What's his name, Wirtz? Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you something. That guy is a miracle. If you watched him last night, he can make plays because he can run and maneuver. You know, you almost have to be that way down to play quarterback.
Yeah. Joe Burrow's the same way.
Burrow's won his first game this past weekend.
I saw a little profile on game day about the North Dakota quarterback they have now. It's phenomenal. But they said that North Dakota had a schedule of, get this, 1 game. They might have played it Saturday.
Isn't that amazing?
They came back and beat Central Arkansas. That's right.
A 1-game schedule.
You know what? Nobody wants to play them. You've got to get the fanny beat, you know.
Yeah, the athletic director came out and said that we actually asked every single team in Division I to play us or schedule us a game, and we would travel and nobody would schedule it.
Oh, wow. That's respect right there, fear.
And guess where their ex-coach is playing? The team that's playing off as good as anybody right now is Kansas State, and that's where he coached. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Yeah, he won a bunch of national championships and then went to Kansas
State. North Dakota State, exactly right.
Got the job over Neil Brown. Neil Brown was second.
Well, this quarterback is really, really good if you've seen him for North Dakota. And he went to North Dakota because no Division I school said they would let him play quarterback. You know, he was an athlete. He was going to play linebacker or safety or running back, and he's just torn it up as a quarterback.
You know, that would be a fun game to go to, the Ole Miss-Alabama game, because, you know, those guys are trying to find a way to have a big time. You know what's scary, and we've got our expert sitting next to us, Mike, and Will. I don't know if anybody's researched this stuff any more than Rice here, but Rice, it looks like it's getting worse instead of better.
You know, I don't know. You see a lot more positive cases, but it's because they are giving so many more tests than they were way back. A couple weeks ago, I saw this stat that the number of positive cases had gone up 16% over a certain period of time, which was a lot. But then you read a couple paragraphs down that the number of people tested had gone up 22%. So, you know, the number of positives had actually not gone up as much as the number of tests. So they're just testing a ton of people, and then a certain percentage of them are come back positive. And then you also don't know, when it's a positive test, does that mean that the people are actually sick? So a few of them are, some of them, a percentage are, but well over half of these people that are testing positive really aren't sick. So it's kind of misleading, in my opinion.
Right.
Like Cam Newton, I'd be willing to bet that Cam Newton is probably, he's not sick at all. I mean, he could probably play if they would let him.
What about Will's son? Is Will's son still working for Trump?
Yeah, he's in the White House now, Mike.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he's tested every single day. And luckily he has not gotten it, but he tells me he thinks he got it several months ago. He thinks he's
I think everybody's already had it.
I wonder too, yeah.
Will, if the president can get through this, I think it's a huge, huge advantage on his part. I think it could turn around and be a big advantage, because people look at the symptoms. Tell me.
Symptoms? He's got some of them. He's got the best.
I mean, what I'm saying, look at the sympathy vote.
Oh, sympathy vote. Okay.
I have a hard time with that word.
Mike, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard you say. There are 50% of the people in this country are praying that he dies.
I know it is sad, isn't it?
I'm serious.
Yeah, that is sad.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
They're hoping he dies. And they're putting it out. I mean, this Jake Tapper on CNN and some of these other people.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw this yesterday. How is this possible? This is NBC Nightly News, which I never watched the news, but they were on the news, and the first thing they said last night, they were telling a story about Trump, and then they said, in the polls, Joe Biden is now leading in the national polls, 54% of the vote.
Yeah.
No, 15 points ahead of Trump in the polling. 15 points? That's 39?
39, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, is that really true?
When the polling day comes, though, it changes quite a bit. Though it's a lot of.
I mean, how would you even come close to winning the election if that's true?
That's true. That's what I thought. I saw the same poll, and I thought, I mean, you got a month to close 15% lead. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened. But then again, these polls are always wrong with Trump. So yeah, I wouldn't trust him.
Wiley Sanders Truck Lines show is right after this one today. Of course, my good friend Jeffrey Bennett and at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, another great opportunity for a career with the best trucking company in the world, Wiley Sanders Trucking Company.
And now we do need to mention this. Anybody that's wanting to watch Troy on ESPNU, this game is now not on ESPNU, which a lot of people, millions of people don't watch. Now it's on ESPN3, which I can watch it because I have the ESPN app on my television, and I can pick it up. But now national television is not going to happen with this game. Which is
well, I thought we would get ESPN3 on our cable. We don't get it anymore.
Troy's a 7-point favorite. Yeah, Troy is a 7-point favorite Saturday.
And that's against a team that went to Boston College and led with about 3 minutes left in Texas State. And Texas State almost beat SMU the start of the season. They played a lot better competition. Well, BYU's good, but I'm just saying they played several really good teams so far this year. They've only got one win. They also lost in double overtime against Texas San Antonio, who almost beat UAB this weekend in Legion Field.
And another thing, last year Troy put 60 on this bunch, so you just don't know, do you?
You know, I looked at UAB's schedule, and UAB's going to be favored against pretty much everybody they play the rest of the year. So you got a chance. I don't know how many games they have, but UAB's got a chance to go 10-1 or something like that.
That's right. Troy started off at 8.5. Now they're at 7. So the money is going toward Texas State right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to close early. Of course, we appreciate so much your support of our show. And of course, right now the plan is we go to eat breakfast together. We got Forrest Lee, we got Bill Rice Jr., and looking forward to a great breakfast.
Hey, before we get off the show, how about them Cowboys yesterday? They're really playing well.
Boy, they're terrible, aren't they? Man, I tell you. Also in college, want to see the underdog went 20 out of 27 Saturday in college football. The underdog is still out there. I hope you enjoyed our show, and of course you can watch us again on Facebook and also on our channel here starting at 1:30. We have a playback, and I hope that you'll join us. And if not, we'll see you in the morning. Of course, this show is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass, where they've got their biggest sale of the year going on right now. Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and